All right, guys, time for Michael Nauss to come on and kind of calm everyone down and sing some Kumbaya. I'm actually recording this before the market opens and hoping to get it out to you guys before the market opens. So no script, no nothing. We're just going off the cuss, right? Because the market is selling. And there's no doubt about that. And some names are getting kind of absolutely killed here. And, that's unfortunate for people who are holding those names. But I just wanted to kind of show that not everything is getting killed. It's not likely the end of the world. And what you can do to kind of hold on and to, keep yourself sane. Now, what we've been doing over at StatsEdgeTrading here, the beauty of it is, again, as a little plug, we're systems traders. So we do whatever the system says. Fortunately, the system just got us into 2 trades this week, and our investment account has actually moved into a little bit of cash as well. So I'm sitting on like over half of my portfolio in cash, just kind of waiting, doing a lot of day trading, things like that, but just kind of waiting. But enough plug there. Again, go to StatsEdgeTrading.com if you want to do that. You can grab the free newsletter, free courses, all that kind of stuff. But mainly what I'm here for is just to kind of calm everyone down. First thing to do to calm everyone down is to zoom out and just to look at, okay, what has actually happened from the market? So not ideal that we bounced and we put in a lower high and we're threatening to make a lower low. So that's the first kind of line in the sand that I want to watch, and I want everyone to watch, is if you look at kind of the structure of the market, this entire rally, it's been pretty consistent, is up and then bounce. And then, right? So if you bought every pullback in this market, you did very, very well. And this is the first one. It looks like it might be putting in a lower high and then maybe reversing back through. So that's kind of scenario one that I think we all need to watch for, is if we end up closing over the next few days below this low right here, then that could be the first sign of a downtrend in this market so far. All right. Now, that doesn't mean I think we're crashing and we're going to zero. We got to remember we were here around Halloween, and it is the 14th. So we are 2 weeks later, and we're still well above that price. So everything in context. There are some speculative growth companies that are getting killed. And this is one of those moments where hopefully you had a plan. As systematic traders, we always have a plan. We have stop losses, we have time stops, we have profit targets. Everything is planned out for us. So we're certainly not sweating here, and we're in a whole bunch of cash. So that helps as well. But if you didn't have a plan, now is when you really got to slap yourself and say, even if we do reverse from here and bounce and rip, you didn't have a plan on when to raise cash. Because in these type of moments, if you were holding like a Palantir and it's down here right now, then you have no plan to get out, then you really have to sit and kind of reevaluate your trading, I think, as a whole. Because what should have happened, even for discretionary traders, is you should have gotten stopped out of a bunch of positions, and you should be sitting on at least some amount of cash. And what you should be doing, and what I think you should be doing in these moments, is not panicking and saying, oh, the market's down a little bit, the world's coming to an end, blah, blah, blah. These are the moments where you should build your list and think about stocks that maybe you liked but missed, and things that were speculative growth or thematic names or whatever it is that you like, and why you liked it, and then where you think you would potentially get in, and take this Friday and this weekend to build that list. Because when the market bottoms, I don't know when the market bottoms, you're not going to know when the market bottoms. If you don't have that list, then you're kind of chasing things back up. The only way that I could see people are having a really hard time in this market is if they're panicking out on every sell and then they're buying back as we're breaking to new highs. If you're doing that over and over and over again, you've spent most of the year kind of underwater trying to get up. As the market's pulling back, you want to start building levels, taking shots, and saying, if this holds, I want to take this trade. So one example I want to give you guys from a beta system that we're running over at StatsEdge. One of the things that StatsEdge Pro members get is, as I build new systems, even if they're untested, we have a channel that people can either choose to look at and get alerts from, or not, just mute it. If you're not interested, you only want the proven systems, it's absolutely fine, is we kind of beta test new ideas and new theories. And one that we're going to be watching here off the open is this ECO. And this, for me, is stocks and areas that I want to look at, is show me things that are holding up and show me things that are potentially rallying even when the market is selling off. That is the list I'm going to kind of generate here. So this is coming from a new gap and go strategy where we're looking for something to gap up and then close strong. So we all remember what I just showed you happened yesterday on the SPY. It was kind of straight down for most of the day. This one gapped up and then actually closed positive. Good relative strength here. The trade on this one is simple if you want to follow along. Again, this is a beta system that has a sub 50-50 win rate, but seems to make money overall, is we're buying it at or near the open, and then we are going to trail under a 5-day moving average. So if it stays above the 5-day moving average forever, great, we're making a lot of money. If it closes below the 5-day moving average, then we're out. And that's sitting kind of, I don't think I have this up here now. That's sitting kind of like right here right now, I think like 35. So I already have this on my list and a plan. I know that the opening price is where the system says to get involved. So if we open and we start to sell, then I can watch it on a shorter term chart and look for some sort of bottoming action, take the trade when the trade happens. But you notice I'm not worked up. I'm not really worried about this market, because even if I lose money here, which, you know, a lot of the positions we have on likely will, I have a system and I can follow the system, and the system over the long run will make money. And I'm not guessing, what do I do, right? What do I do here? What do I do there? If you are in that situation, very much consider moving to cash or selling whatever you need to feel right mentally. And as soon as you kind of get your mental up and, you know, things are making sense in your brain and you're kind of calmed down, take the weekend off, whatever it is, then make sure you kind of promise yourself that every trade or every investment or every position you enter from now on will have very stringent exit rules. And then the freedom that comes with that of, I no longer have to think about, you know, hey, has the fundamentals of this company changed? Have, you know, was all this a bubble and it all comes crashing down? These are things that I don't really think about, and you shouldn't have to. It should be, I like this stock for this reason, and I'm going to get out for that reason. And then all you have to do is look at your portfolio. If that reason to get out hasn't happened, you stay in. If the reason to get out has happened, you get out. And these are the moments where you kind of remind yourself, if you don't have these rules in place, burden you're putting on yourself, not just your portfolio, but the burden you're putting on yourself mentally. So again, take these moments, take the weekend. It's time to do some work, get everything in order, and then we'll see what happens to the market. Zooming out, we just haven't done anything for a long time. So this is the overnight price. This is the price again. It's before the open when I'm recording this. So if we line up the last time we closed here, it's September 22nd and it's November 14th. So almost 2 months of just up a bit, down a bit, up a bit, down a bit, pretty much flat over that period of time, over around 2 months. It's perfectly normal action where the market goes up a bunch and then it starts to chop around like this. What I think we're seeing, just go back from a technical point of view, is rotation, right? If you look at the Qs, which is your NASDAQ, that is almost at or below this low that I mentioned, this Friday's low. So the Qs are having a really bad time. But then you look at something like healthcare, and healthcare's ripping, right? Healthcare broke out of this base, had an amazing week. It's very, very strong. So that kind of action makes it really clear to me that we are getting this rotation out of AI-related companies, out of this kind of market, and then into more value-oriented, more boring type names. And what this might be, in my mind, just guessing, is that there are people out there who've made a whole bunch of money this year, and they're just looking to kind of lock in profits. So without moving entirely to cash. So I can sell this quantum computer company that I quintupled my money on this year. I can sell that quantum computer company and I can buy, I don't know, Eli Lilly, right? A nice drug company that's ripping. Or I can buy a UNH, right? That had a nice little bounce and is, you know, well off its lows for this year. So again, out of the big, crazy, scary guys that you made a whole bunch of money on, into boring stuff that kind of chops around for a long time. And these rotations can take a while. And in that time, what happens if you're selling the thing that's the highest market cap value of the S&P 500 and you're buying things that are lower market cap value, the whole market comes down, even though really money is just kind of moving from one place to another. So that's what I see happening. This doesn't seem like a panic. Oh, I'm worried that the economy is exploding and no one has a job and everything's awful and blah, blah, blah. It's more of a, I'm ringing the register, but I'm ringing the register in the things that are the most market moving. So you're seeing that kind of across the board. So anyway, a little bit of a ramble, but I hope this kind of helped calm everyone down. Have a plan. If you don't have a plan, definitely get one. If you want to try out our plans, you come on over to StatsEdgeTrading.com. And until I talk to you guys next, get away from the screens.